Hello, this is Martha Hines with Living the One Light. Today I'm with Vanessa Nixon, who is a good friend and a traditional naturopath. And we are here today to talk about a workshop that we have coming up on November 10th, 2022, called Tap into Your Body Wisdom. And Vanessa and I felt called to bring this workshop out together because our work overlaps in many ways, but one of the intersections that we have discovered is, not surprisingly, we both care very deeply about supporting people in the world to remember and to tap into their innate intuition, their innate body knowing, and the wording I would put it in terms of my own work is really our innate intelligence of the divine that moves as our bodies and as our beings, as people on this earth. So, and then Vanessa, you have your own way of framing that as well, but we wanted to bring this together into one place to jointly support ourselves and support our world to tap into that body wisdom. So we're going to talk a bit about that today. And thank you so much, Vanessa, for being here and for co-creating with me like this.
I am so excited about this workshop, and I am so honored to be able to be creating this with you. Your wisdom, as you said, your work and mine align in some really wonderful ways, and it's just very exciting to be able to connect with you, to collaborate with you, and be able to bring our knowledge together and what we have to offer into our communities in this way. And so yes, I'm really excited about this
Mhm.
workshop.
Yeah. And a couple of the gifts that you bring into the world that we're going to, that will be playing out in this workshop are, number one, you are a naturopath. So you have this incredible practical knowledge about our bodies. And then number two, you are a belly dance instructor. And so one of the things we'll talk a little bit more about in this video, and then we'll go much more deeply into in the workshop, is how you really incorporate movement into our relationship to our body wisdom. So yeah, in a minute, I would love to come back to that because I think that's a very important component of what we're doing and why we're here. But before that, do you want to start with the story of how this workshop came into being? And
Yes, that's an incredible story. I think we should definitely start there.
okay, cool. Do you want to tell it or should I tell it?
You know what? I love the way you tell it because you
Okay.
really have, depths of knowledge into some of those
Oh,
astrological components that came into this idea being created.
cool. Okay. And then you can jump in with your side if I forget something. Well, yeah. So we originally planned to do this workshop at the end of August 2022. We're recording this video in late September 2022. But in early August or maybe late July, we met to plan the workshop, and I prayed on what was mine to do. That's what I do every morning. And I get told by the spirit world, do X, Y, or Z. And that's what I do. That's how I live my life. And um, and so I was praying on it, and I got told very clearly, in no uncertain terms, and shown, do the workshop around November 10th. And I thought, what in the world are you talking about? That is, almost 3 months later than we were planning. And I feel really guilty. I don't want to go to her and say, hey, how about we push this out 3 months? Because I don't want her to feel like I'm blowing her off or whatever it is. So anyway, we got together for our meeting, And I said, hey, I'm getting this very clear directive from the spirit world to do this around November 10th. And I don't understand why. And I feel really guilty. So I don't want you to feel bad. I'm just being honest. This is what they're telling me. How do you feel about that? And you said, actually, that's great. That's right around the time of my birthday. And I'm going to be launching a book then. And I said, that's your birthday? I had no idea. And then I realized, wow, okay. So your birthday is November 13th, is that?
13th, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And it suddenly clicked for me. Oh my goodness. There is a full moon, a total full moon, a total lunar eclipse on November 8th. So 2 days before the spirit world was telling me to do this workshop and 5 days before your birthday. And then I realized, oh, wow, this eclipse is going to be in Taurus, precisely conjunct Uranus. Okay, so just astrologically, Taurus has to do with the body. Uranus in Taurus has to do with the divine intelligence of our bodies. We wanted to do a workshop called Tap into Your Body Wisdom. And this happened to be falling 2 days or 3 days before you're launching a book called
Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis, which has to do with remembering the wisdom of our bodies and our connection to the earth and natural remedies as we move through the menopausal years of our life, right? So, I mean, this whole continuum of all of how this week would play out blew me away. I couldn't believe it. And I still kind of can't believe it. But it was the perfect example of exactly what we want to be doing in this workshop, which is supporting us all to come back into a remembering of that, each of our own ways of having wisdom that moves through us in our intuition, in our bodies, and however we connect to that part of ourselves. It kind of summed it all up right there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would love to hear.
For me, also, it blew me away. Like I've always been fascinated with astrology, but I've never studied it. And, you know, just knowing the depths of your knowledge and wisdom around it and how this interaction between us played out for what we wanted to share was just so incredible and so surreptitious. And it just, like, everything fell into alignment in every way.
Mhm.
And for me, it was like, yes, this is what being in the flow, being connected to nature, being connected to your own inner wisdom, this is what it's all about. It's playing out right now. And this is what we want to share with, you know, with other people, that yes, you can live your life in that flow, in alignment. And it's incredible when you do.
Yeah. And one of the things that's so key for me in my own work, but I think is true for you in your work too, is that we each have our own ways, right? So this knowing came through my body and through me in a particular way. And for you, I'm guessing you have other ways it comes through for you. I mean, it comes through, I know you enough to know it does come through you very strongly in your own ways. And so this workshop, I think, is very much about helping us each tap into our own, that flow in each of us individually, right? And not trying to be cookie cutter or even stuck in our minds of how should we do this? There's one right way to learn. It's really, maybe this comes into the body movement. Maybe we could flow into that in a second, but for me, I feel it as like a light in my body, and I tap into that light, and it has a life of its own. It's moving as its own entity. And so if I were to try to copy what someone else did, it wouldn't work because it wouldn't be my light. It wouldn't be my knowing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think that, that is what our inner wisdom is. It's authentic to us.
Mhm.
And it's not necessarily going to be the same for anybody else. But there are, I think, some commonalities, some generalities that we can say, for many people, this is how you can support yourself to tap into your body wisdom. For many people, this is how you could do it. And for me, one of the most significant ways in my life that I have found that I am able to tap into my own body wisdom is through movement.
Mm.
And for me, belly dance is my preferred form of movement because it is such a natural way for women to strengthen and support their own bodies.
Mhm.
And belly dance is all about a woman's story and supporting
Mm.
each other as women. And so, I won't go into that now. In the workshop, we'll talk more about that. But, for me, it's moving my body to music,
Mm.
hearing the rhythms, just kind of getting lost in them and allowing my body to move in ways that feel natural. And that does two things for me. It opens me up to those messages to drop in. It opens me up from the messages from my own inner wisdom to come out. It allows that space for me to hear the messages. And it also provides a way to integrate those messages into my life in a very grounded way.
Beautiful.
And so that body wisdom comes to me very strongly through movement. And I think for many women, it's the same, although it may be different types of movement. It could be walking, it could be yoga, it could be Tai Chi, um, but just moving the energies, using movement to release stagnant energy and open up space for new energy to come in is a really, really powerful way to tap into your body wisdom.
Absolutely. I know, yeah, for myself, so much comes through for me. Like, I mean, I channel books, right? So, and a lot of the time I'll just get this urge. I have to clean my house or I need to go to yoga or I need to go for a walk on the beach. Or I have to move and like my body has to move. And then suddenly the whatever is meant to come through just goes click,
Yeah.
boom. And yeah, but I'm also feeling as you're talking, and maybe this, I feel like this is a question we need to address in this video is as you're talking about doing belly dancing or even, moving to music. I mean, I love music. I love to move to music. I love to dance. I love all of that. But I am noticing in myself, and I'm guessing this is true for other people too, a certain fear, right? If I think about even you and me doing this workshop together, all of a sudden I go, wait a minute, am I going to be belly dancing on video? That's going to be really scary. So maybe you could just speak for a minute. I can guess what your answers will be here. For anybody who's listening to this, who's thinking, oh yeah, absolutely. I resonate with these women. I would love to be in a workshop with you. I would love to tap into my body wisdom. I love the idea of doing that through movement. And oh my God, there is no way I'm going to be on camera doing belly dancing or whatever. Can you speak a little bit to what
Yeah,
features might be coming up for
yeah,
me and
absolutely.
anybody?
Absolutely. And I do see this all the time. And I see it in my belly dance students.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, that sounds really great. I really want to take belly dance classes. But, they're very hesitant. And that the fear of, and I think it's just the fear of being visible, like being vulnerable,
Mhm.
showing your true authentic self.
Mhm.
That's a fear that as women I think is very common. We hold that, and actually through belly dance that is something that I see, and like almost all my students comes up and gets addressed, and in a very natural, loving, supportive way, just through the process of learning to move your body in those ways. However, having said that,
Mhm.
In our workshop, there is going to be an experiential piece where we can, where we will invite everybody to move, to experience what I call movement meditation. And
Mm.
so it's not a belly dance class. I'm not going to be asking women to, belly dance. However, the way that is most natural for me to move my body is through, you know, belly dance movements, as
Mhm.
well as other movements. But really, belly dance was created as a way to support the way a woman's body moves and what's healthy for her. So,
Mhm.
what I find is, especially through movement meditations that I do, that women tend to want to move their bodies in very similar ways.
Mm.
And most of those ways, like, are the foundation of belly dance movements. So, while
Absolutely.
it's not going to be a belly dance class, it's just going to be an invitation to um, just really feel the rhythm of music in your body and express it in whatever way your body wants to express it.
Mhm.
And if that's just sitting and maybe, moving your body back and forth, that's great. If, I'll give some prompts, I'll give some suggestions, but it's completely up to you, because as this goes back to what you said in the beginning, your own body wisdom is unique to you.
Mhm.
So it's just a little experiential um, piece that you can use in whatever way is most meaningful to you, to experience moving your body um, in whatever way your body wants to move, and practicing listening to your body in telling you how it wants to move,
Mhm.
in telling you what's most supportive for it,
Mhm.
and in what ways that movement can open you up to hear your own wisdom.
Absolutely. And of course, this is meant to be a 1000% safe, emotionally safe environment. And, you have the complete control to have your camera on, have your camera off, participate as much or as little as you want, share or not share,
Absolutely.
all about you, not about us. So, and I say that for myself too, because I'm definitely feeling my own growing edges with this in a certain sense. And I'm super, super, super excited, and it feels really aligned and really beautiful and so supportive. That's just what I'm feeling, is the sense of yeah, being held in that. I love the way you talk about the natural way women's bodies typically want to move. It makes me think of when many years ago when I was a doula and I was with women, in labor, and just I would naturally move with the way their bodies were wanting to move, and it was so raw and intense and beautiful and made me cry. I mean, it was just, wow. Like, we have this innate knowing in our bodies for in so many parts of life. And
Mhm.
yeah, to feel supported in that, to me, even hearing you talk feels really nourishing and wonderful.
Absolutely. That's what it's for. I mean,
Mhm.
that's as I said, belly dance was actually created to support women as they go through birth,
Mm,
pregnancy, postpartum,
mm.
first menopause. So yeah, the whole thing, the whole structure of this beautiful art form was created to support women.
Oh,
And
amazing.
that's what I love to share about it.
Yeah, great. So, uh, for those of you watching this video, the basic overview of how we're planning to hold this hour-and-a-half workshop, which again is going to be on November 10th at 12 p.m. Pacific time until 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. The basic structure that we are thinking of, it might shift a little bit, but the basic structure is that we'll start out with me giving a bit of an overview of the astrology of that moment, because we will be just 2 days away from 2 days after that very powerful full moon eclipse in Taurus. So I will just, tap into the energies of that moment astrologically and share a bit about that. And then Vanessa will be sharing more deeply about this, Vanessa, your own version of this body wisdom and the movement component of that, tapping into that part of ourselves. And then we will go into this experiential version of the movement meditation that you're going to be sharing, Vanessa. And then we should have time for some sharing after that. And certain parts of it will be recorded, but the sharing part will not. So again, we'll do this in a way that is very carefully contained and will feel very held and safe, hopefully, for everybody there. Did I forget anything?
I don't think so. I think that, yeah, that covers it. And I'm just so excited to be able to share this with other women and to be able to collaborate with you in this. And I think, that's all part of the alignment of how things work, especially for women. It's all about connection and collaboration and sharing. And so I'm so honored to be able to do that with you.
Yay. Me too. Wonderful. So for those of you listening, if this resonates, if this calls to you, then listen to your body wisdom. And if it doesn't, then also listen to your body wisdom. You'll know. And if it is calling to you, please reach out. You can sign up on the Eventbrite link, which I will put with this video. You can also sign up through my membership, which is on my website, livingtheonelight.com. And you can contact me directly at livingtheonelight@gmail.com, or you can connect with Vanessa directly. What's the best way with you?
The best way is Vanessa@herbsofgrace.com.
Wonderful. Beautiful. Great. And anything else before we close?
Just that I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to the incredible alignment of that particular time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it'll be a send off to your birthday and your book launch too.
Yes.
We
Very
can all,
exciting.
we can all say happy birthday to you. Wonderful. Thank you.